Hey treasure hunters, mystery lovers, and Oak Island obsessives. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever believed that history has buried more than just stories, if you think secret societies might have literally moved mountains or built dams to keep the world's greatest secrets hidden, then smash that like button and get ready. Today, we're diving into the monumental developments in the Curse of Oak Island Season 12, Episode 20, a roller coaster of ancient artifacts, mysterious maps, secret orders, and a wall that could change everything. Let's get into it. So here's the setup. In the chilly grip of another Nova Scotia fall, Rick, Marty, and the team are back at it, determined, relentless, and closer than ever. This time, their attention shifts north, to the swamp. But not just any part of the swamp. We're talking about the very spot where the legendary Fred Nolan, decades ago, claimed he found a man-made wall. A wall, friends. Not a pile of driftwood. Not natural debris. A constructed dam, designed, perhaps even engineered, to manipulate the landscape. And here's the kicker, this structure matches a marking labeled "the dam" on a 14th century map believed to be Templar in origin, handed to the team by researcher Lagina Halpern before her passing. Now tell me this, what are the odds? Suddenly, the idea that the swamp wasn't a natural formation, but an intentional cover-up, a smoke screen for something buried, feels less like a theory and more like a historical inevitability. And when the team finds wooden pins, heavy iron artifacts, and massive boulders lined in a straight path, the picture becomes clearer. Someone, or some group, wanted this place to stay hidden. But that's not all. Initially, they believed they were excavating part of a ship's wharf. Logical, given the location. Logical, but wrong. Because as Gary Drayton and Jack Begley dig deeper, what they discover is a pattern, a sequence of boulders, wood, and iron, appearing in line and with purpose. This isn't debris. It's architecture. It's intentional design. And that raises the biggest question of all. Did the Templars engineer an entire swamp, build dams, drop stone roads, and bury vaults, to hide something they could never allow to be found? Fred Nolan thought so. The team's new evidence. It's starting to agree with him. Meanwhile, just south of the swamp, deep in the infamous Money Pit, the team continues excavating RP3, a massive 7-foot wide steel shaft placed just north of RP1 and RP2. Why? Because all signs point to one critical location, Shaft 6. Back in 1861, treasure hunters believed they had hit the jackpot when they struck stacked wooden chests filled with metal in pieces. But before they could retrieve anything, disaster struck. The sea rushed in, flooding the shaft and burying the treasure beneath tons of collapsed wood. Now, more than 160 years later, the modern team may have finally reached the debris field where those chests collapsed. And here's the strategy, target where the treasure would have spilled out, not where it was, but where it ended up. After finding 18th century French pottery, pipe stems, and timber in RP1 and RP2, the team believes RP3 could bring them face to face with history, possibly even uncover the long-lost treasure itself. You feel that? That's not just excitement, that's history stirring. And just when you think this episode can't drop any more bombshells, it does. A button, small, seemingly insignificant, is unearthed on Lot 5. But this isn't any button. It's almost identical to those found on the uniforms of the Knights of Malta. Let that sink in. The Knights of Malta, a Templar-connected military order with centuries of history and involvement in secret missions. Could it be that the Templars, or their successors, really did reach Oak Island? Are these buttons, pins, and tools the fingerprints of a sacred mission lost to time? If you're still skeptical, consider this. The team meets with researcher Judy Rudebush, who was Lagina Halpern's research partner before her death. Judy brings with her a new layer to this mystery, a series of 18th and 19th century books filled with codes and encryptions. Inside, clues pointing directly to Oak Island. Hidden messages, maps, and Masonic symbology, all pointing to the Templars, the Knights of Malta, and the idea that Oak Island was part of a sacred mission. One book even includes a hand-drawn map of the island, showing a square structure, eerily similar to the vault discovered in the swamp this very season. So, let's take a step back. You have a swamp that appears to have been artificially created. You have timber, iron pins, and boulders arranged with purpose, potentially forming a dam. You have a vault discovered where a Templar map said one would be. You have a button connected to a secretive religious order. And you have coded books and ancient maps pointing again and again to Oak Island. Friends, the curse of Oak Island isn't just a reality show anymore. It's a real-time archaeological thriller, one that's bringing centuries-old conspiracies into the light. We may not yet have the treasure, but make no mistake, we're digging up the truth. But let's take a moment to appreciate just how calculated all of this would have had to be. Creating an artificial swamp isn't like digging a ditch or building a shack. We're talking about a feat of engineering, executed hundreds of years ago, likely by men using rudimentary tools, but guided by knowledge, secrecy, and a purpose beyond comprehension. If Fred Nolan's theory is right, and this latest evidence is backing him up, then the swamp is not just a natural nuisance on Oak Island. It's a fortress of secrecy, a cloaked vault masking sacred relics or vast wealth that needed to be hidden from kings, popes, and conquerors alike. And let's not forget the strategic placement of the stone roads, cobblestone paths, and the paved ramp that were discovered in previous episodes. These aren't random formations. They all seem to lead somewhere, converging toward areas where vaults have now been unearthed. If that doesn't scream intentional design, I don't know what does. And if these are roads built for hauling or moving heavy treasure, then someone clearly planned this entire island as a secret repository. That's not folklore. That's logistics. Think about it. The Templars weren't just warrior monks, they were architects, bankers, mapmakers, and builders. They had the means to travel across continents, the discipline to keep secrets, and the motivation to protect something powerful. What if Oak Island is their final vault? Their last great stand? All of the pieces we're finding now, maps, tools, buttons, symbols, they're pointing in one chilling direction: they were here. And let's dig into this idea of coded books again. We're talking about publications from centuries ago containing hidden references to Oak Island. Judy Rutabusha's research, building on Zena Halpern's legacy, uncovers layers of meaning, hidden codes, obscure references to Freemasonry and ancient rituals. It's almost like someone has been trying to lead us here, through time itself. These books weren't meant to be understood by just anyone. They were treasure maps for the initiated, for those who knew how to read between the lines. Now combine all this with what we know about the money pit and the treasure tunnels. That place isn't just a pit, it's a trap-laden maze, a fortress beneath the earth designed to defeat time, technology, and even modern machinery. The flood tunnels, the booby traps, the fake shafts, it's all part of a system meant to protect something legendary. And here's what's wild, the team isn't just randomly digging anymore. They're zeroing in, pinpointing exactly where things went wrong in the 1800s and trying to reverse engineer the collapse to locate the missing treasure. And this brings us back to the burning question: what exactly is hidden on Oak Island? Is it gold and silver? Sacred relics? Ancient knowledge? The Ark of the Covenant? A heretical gospel? We've heard it all. But whatever it is, someone believed it was valuable enough to hide forever, and to die protecting. Don't forget, 6 men have already died trying to find it. And if legend is to be believed, a 7th must perish before the island gives up its secrets. Let's also take a moment to appreciate just how methodical this modern-day team is. Rick, Marty, Craig, Gary, they're not treasure hunters in the cartoonish sense. They're engineers, researchers, and historians. They're running sonar, LiDAR, geophysical surveys, and deep data analysis. They're marrying ancient maps with satellite imagery. They're bringing 21st century science to an 800-year-old mystery, and the results are starting to sync up in ways no one expected. And what happens if they do find it? If they uncover proof of the Templars, a lost treasure, or ancient religious relics? It would rewrite not just Canadian history, but world history. It would challenge everything we thought we knew about medieval exploration, religious conflict, and the true fate of the Knights Templar. Oak Island would become not just a legendary mystery, but a verified turning point in global history. And maybe, just maybe, that's why it's been hidden so well. Because the truth might be bigger than any one country, any one religion, or even any one time period. Maybe Oak Island isn't just about treasure, maybe it's about preserving power, controlling narrative, and protecting secrets that could shatter the foundations of what we think we know.